Nnamdi Kanu. The view has been expressed by those who know this subject that he was misled by amateur legal advisors who turned a serious legal issue into a circus, and who misadvised him, and who led him to sack people like Kanu Agabi SAN, Ikpeazu SAN, Paul Erokoro SAN, who are handling the matter. Persons who, from the Court of Appeal in the previous matter, had already provided a template that could have provided a different outcome. And then you have these people, all these social media, Twitter lawyers, misleading him. So, do you agree with that view?
Well,
the situation, what eventually happened in the Court of Justice Omotoshpo, could it have been avoided if the matter was handled differently?
Well, I do not know why he debriefed those lawyers. I also do not know why he decided to defend himself. But what is those are now in the realm of history or in the realm of the past. What now bothers many Nigerians was what happened on November 20th, the day he was sentenced, and the day he was convicted and eventually sentenced. And the whole issue surrounding the trial, the whole issue surrounding the conviction and the sentencing, the attitude of the court itself, whether the court followed the law or whether the court followed personal opinion of the jurists, or whether the court, in some people's opinion, acted on a script to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu is taken off the streets, in a manner of speaking. Whether Nnamdi Kanu defended himself or not, what to many people is more critical and more important is the attitude of the judge and the justice of the matter. Don't forget that in criminal adjudication, one can only be convicted when there is preponderance of evidence, one, two, and when the prosecution is able to prove the case beyond all reasonable doubt. We are not saying all iota of doubt, but at least all reasonable doubt. And that justice must not only be done, but to be seen, manifestly be seen as having been done. The generality of the public of Nigeria and even the international community do not believe that justice was done in Nnamdi Kanu's case. Don't forget that the issue of treason is a political decision by the state, because treason is an offense against the state. It has been brought to become an offense against humanity. And that is why there is an international convention against treason. And it was to be able to bring it to the level of, to align Nigeria's act with that of the rest of the world, following the UN convention, that brought to the repeal of Nigeria's 2011-2012 terrorism Prevention Act, and reenacted in 2022 with implementation in 2023 of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. Now, the whole issue about Nnamdi Kanu's matter beggars a lot of questions and defeats a lot of logic, because a lot of people, even Nnamdi Kanu himself, had continued to say it, even rambunctiously in court, that they should show him the law with which he's being tried. Because by the time many people didn't understand, because all the people who were not privy to the charges and people who were not privy to the goings on in court were at a loss as to why would a man be charged for an offense that is not known to law in a criminal trial. Because a Nigerian statute book says that one cannot be tried for a law of an offense not codified and known to law. Yeah. And then
under the principle of fair
hearing,
sections 35 and 36.
Absolutely. And there is nothing like retrogressive action in law when it comes to criminal action. Yeah. We are not a military regime. Now...
No, but Nnamdi Kanu was charged under the old law.
Under the old law?
Terrorism.
He was charged under the 2020...
No, not under 2022. Under the older law of 2011.
2013
Yeah.
or 2022, 2013.
2013.
That was repealed.
That's the old law.
Oh, the old law that was repealed in 2022.
Yeah, but
So-
the new law will not take effect. That's why Chief Awomolo SAN
Yes.
is saying that the punishment is death penalty. He was quoting the old law, and that the accused person was charged under the old law.
The accused person
Let's
was
get
charged-
the
the accused person was charged under the old law. Don't forget that that charge under the old law got extinguished in October 2022. When
Yeah, but the law, you yourself just said it,
Yes.
cannot have retroactive effect.
we cannot have retroactive effect.
Those are issues they will resolve
No,
at
that-
the level of appeal.
No. There is one major issue that is even on the open.
Okay.
Because in the first instance, don't forget that Nnamdi Kanu had earlier been acquitted by the Federal High Court before federal government went to Court of Appeal. And every moment an accused is acquitted, discharged and acquitted, he goes home from the court. He can only go back to the prison or to wherever he was detained to collect his personal items. If he doesn't want, he can abandon them there. If he doesn't want, he can go from there to his house. If he doesn't want, because at the end of the day, the federal government refused to release him. So at that point of that discharge and acquittal in October of 2022, the court became functus officio. So you can no longer hold on that old law. But by the time you saw the judgment from the Omotoshpo's court, it was referring to the 2013 charge. So that became a very, very strong issue against that judgment and against the entire procedure.
Okay.
There are so many other issues which time may not allow us to explain.
These are issues that can be worked out when the matter goes to the Court of Appeal. Aloy Ejimako has already said they will go on appeal.
Yes,
and that by Monday, tomorrow, they are going to file.
He has a whole 90 days. We think we to do so.
However,
so he
the
can do
thing
that
to
at any
notice
time.
that Justice Omotoshpo even said, he was tampering justice with mercy. He was not applying the full teeth of the law. However, what do you think is the way forward? And don't you think that the matter was even complicated by the conduct of the accused person who discharged his own counsel? I mentioned the very senior lawyers who know the territory. Now, in this same case, what's his name now? Ozekome,
Yes.
SAN,
Yes.
was involved. Kanu Agabi, SAN. Paul Erokoro, SAN. Ikpeazu, SAN. These are people who know the law, the in and out of it, who could have provided a different kind of pathway and who could have handled the matter. But we had the accused person abusing the presiding judge, and you said, the presiding judge is a problem. What do you expect his lordship to have done in a situation whereby the accused person took over the proceedings of the court and questioned his integrity, questioned his... So what the judge did eventually in the 144-page judgment that I have seen is that he just applied the law. Simply.
Dr. Albert, you may say so, the judge may claim so, but the judge committed what majority of the people describe as a travesty of justice, and I tell you why.
No, look, don't quote mob opinion.
No,
you are a lawyer.
He's not a mob opinion because there are the facts are there. The judge jumped into the arena. The judge even usurped the office of the executive.
How?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
it does not lie in the purview of the court to decide where a convict will be kept. The very moment you decide, you give it your judgment, you become functus officio. It is the duty of the executive to determine.
Which means that the matter has ended.
Yeah, the matter has ended.
Yeah,
It's the duty of the for the judge to say.
What functus officio means.
Yes, for the judge to say he has to be kept in a certain form of confinement. He's jumping into the arena. He's overreaching his office.
Was it the judge that said he must be taken to Sokoto?
The judge said so, and possibly for them to have taken him to Sokoto, they may be obeying again the order of the court, which of course is an illegal order because he has become functus officio.
No,
it is
but
not
I
the
didn't
duty.
see Sokoto prison.
It is not the duty
in that judgment.
It is not the duty of.
No, is it stated in the judgment?
No, Dr. Abati. It's not the duty of the judge to say where he will be kept.
No, is it in the
Meanwhile,
judgment?
no, it's not in the judgment.
Have you read it?
No, but he said so in the judgment that
He said it should be taken to Sokoto.
He didn't say Sokoto. He said in a special confinement. He said so. So, and people were asking, would he be taken to Robben Island in South Africa or Guantanamo Bay in Rhode Island in America, since they wanted him to be completely out of circulation? The judge, in his wisdom, may be thinking that keeping him in an environment where people can have access to him, that people will be coming to visit him, and of course people will be going to visit him. And now the government are now throwing him to Sokoto. What is the basis for throwing him to Sokoto? That is one. But leave that for the executive to answer. But you can query the judge for making such statement because it does not lie in his purview. Again, the injustice done against Nnamdi Kanu
was that part of the ratio or part of?
It was part of the angst you mentioned that he insulted the judge.
No, I didn't say.
No, he said that he insulted the judge in the open court, the presiding judge, and I now ask if anybody misconducts himself in the court, is it not contempt?
No, but
contempt in the face of the court.
But that judgment.
So it cannot come in any way close to issue of terrorism. If the judge felt he was insulted,
whatever the judge may have said, obita.
The same way
immaterial.
is good. The same way President Muhammadu Buhari now converted ordinary law of thought to a criminal offense. Nnamdi Kanu insulted Buhari. Yes, it's open. He called him all sorts of names. He has the reasons for calling him also names. We criticize such calling of names because he was our president. But we have a law that says, if I insult you, Dr. Abati, you take me to court. It's a civil offense. It can't be a crime that he insulted the president, and now the president now turned it to become terrorism. Now, another issue that very important, another issue that still keeps hanging on is, if you look at all the counts, the 7 counts, a lot of them will be talking about his broadcasts. Almost about 5 of the charges talk about his broadcasts. And that is why his lawyer said, how has Mayor Puffy, word of mouth, amount to terrorism? You know that when you are talking about criminal issues, you are talking about the actus reus and the mens rea, the reasons and the action. If
the mind to commit,
and then the act itself, committal of that act. Where is the committal of the act, and where is the mind to commit the act? What he did was he insulted the authorities because he possibly felt that he was not getting what he expected from the system. These are all the issues that will come on appeal at the end of the day.
Don't let us reopen the case. All these elementary things about criminal law, let's put them aside.
Yes.
The matter has already been determined now at this stage. What is the way forward? What do you recommend?
No, but of course,
as counsel.
No, it's very simple.
Were you part of?
No, I was not part of the legal team.
So, what do you recommend?
No, it's very simple. They will go on appeal.
Yeah.
And they have to go on appeal timeously because our law says he has 90 days to appeal. But the legal team is up to the task, and they said they are not going to waste any time. But another thing that is important is that now that the written judgment is out, they get satisfactory copy of the judgment and they begin to prepare sift through it, bring out all the grounds of appeal, and then go ahead and file the appeal. And that's all. That is the only way forward. And the next way forward is to appeal to Ndigbo to take it easy, that this injustice cannot stand. So there's no need trying to get agitated. There's no need trying to resort to self-help. There's no need trying to injure ourselves or injure the people, all in the name of getting angry. Because the law, yes, is an ass, but the same law will be utilized to right the wrongs that have been done against Nnamdi Kanu. I say this advisedly and without any fear of equivocation, that the federal government of Nigeria has not handled Nnamdi Kanu's matter in a judicial.
So what do you advise the Nigerian government?
The Nigerian government, if I am to advise the government, this time around, the buck now stops on the table of the CNC. The CNC has now, when he pardoned some criminals and Nigerians raised their voices and people said, oh, why are you not pardoning Nnamdi Kanu? The handlers of the federal of the Mr. President said the matter is still in court. Today, the court has discharged the matter. Now, the executive can now take over and apply the prerogative of mercy. It is completely at the discretion of Mr. President. And if I'm to advise him, I'll ask him to do so and calm frayed nerves so that we will begin to limit the challenges of insecurity we have in Nigeria. It is mounting all around the country. Let us not add to the problems. It's like pouring fuel into a raging fire.
Thank you, Fred Nzeako, one of the PDP party members. Honestly, this man did not give Dr. Abati any time. You know, Dr. Abati, so this is one of the reasons why many people dislike this man. If you check, this guy known as Rufai Osteni, he is on leave. He went on leave, probably 1 month's leave. And that's why you see it's I'm not posting all this Arise news. I don't post everything. I have to listen. If it's something that is quite interesting, then I will pick it and I'm going to share it with my viewers to watch this interesting program or let's say interview from Arise News. This Abati, he's trying every possible means to avoid what this man is about to say. But guess what? This man gave him woto. This man did not give him any iota of chance via this particular interview. In this program, this Fred Nzeako, he deserves an accolade. In fact, he's one of the people that should be coming to this Arise News under this man to be interviewed by this man known as Abati. Because Abati, once he discovers that you are too weakling or you are too weak or more, he will fire you. He will give you better shots. He will try to disgrace you while you are the one that he asks questions. The question we need to ask Abati, are you the one answering the question or you are the question asker? You ask this man a question, allow him to answer. And you are still looking for a way to bring words from his mouth or trying not to allow him to pour out all his heart or whatever he wants to say to the media so that people can see the truth. You see how this man said it? There is injustice against Ndigbo. There are many errors in this particular judgment. It doesn't matter who you are. These are people who have not openly supported Nnamdi Kanu. They are politicians in the country, but they pinpoint the errors in this particular judgment. How can you use a merry word for someone, a purification words, to judge someone to life imprisonment? Isn't it awkward? It is injustice against Ndigbo. And you hear what this man said, that once Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers appeal to the listener, that Nigeria have to appeal to Ndigbo. Do you see it's for the injustice against them? The thing is that the point that Nnamdi Kanu's raised has not even been addressed by the federal government. These people made a very shocking revelation. They said something. Nnamdi Kanu said, okay, this is what I want. If you want me to quit agitation of Biafra, do this for Ndigbo. But you hardly see any single development of the federal government in the Southeast. We don't even have any international airport in the Southeast. Isn't it injustice? Isn't it unfair? So when all these points are being raised, people are agitating, but somebody like Tinubu want to do some, they're abusing, negotiating peace talk with bandits in the north. But Nnamdi Kanu is telling you to provide basic social amenities. Let that be constant light. Let that be good road. Let that be international airports in the Southeast. What will it take you to have it? Before we have international airports in the Southeast, why did people remove it? What happened to Enugu State International Airport? What happened to it? Can't you revoke that thing and make it international airport back? What is wrong with us? This man known as the former governor of Ebonyi State, Devil Man, built an international airport under his own watch in Abakaliki. Today, the federal government this state did not recognize that as an international airport. Even in Calabar, there is no international airport there. Delta, what did I call it? Akwa Ibom, there is no international airport. So it is really sad when Nnamdi Kanu is agitating. If you think that it is only demanding for separation at all means without having things that is agitating for, that means you are really sick. You should look for the reason why this man is agitating. Why is this man, if it happened that Nigeria is a working system or it is favoring Alibo or things are working properly in Alibo, tell me why somebody like Nnamdi Kanu will wake up and start agitation. Nigeria is not working properly. Nigeria is not being favorable to Ndigbo, but it's favorable to every other part of Nigeria, every other tribe. If it happened that they're extending to Yoruba, they're extending to Alibo, by now Alibo would have been a small London. But they don't want to do that because they know how Igbos will use any little thing you are giving them to turn their land into an Obodo Igbo overnight. But that is wickedness. Why are we being treated unjustly and unfair in our country? Anyway, my people, I think I love the analysis from this man, Fred Nzeako. Shame to you, Dr. Abati. You see how this man schooled you. You try to go log ahead with this man, but he schooled you to tell you, don't shun me. I know what I'm saying. This is injustice. In fact, it is injustice against Igbo. You see an Igbo man that came up to your life and you are trying to interview him and you don't know that this man will have to finish you. You think as a politician he will side with Bola Ahmed Tinubu or he will clap for Omotoshpo. No good Igbo man, no good, I'm talking about bona fide Igbo man that will look at the way that Nnamdi Kanu's case go and still side Justice Omotoshpo in the name of your clamoring for one Nigeria. Even Mr. P2B stood ground and condemned the judgment. He equally said that Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't have been arrested, shouldn't have even tried in the first place. He proposed so many errors and asked Tinubu to do the needful to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu is being freed. If not, he's also boiling the heart of Ndibo. He's injustice against one. You get the point? Imagine sentencing two Boko Haram members 10 years, 20 years, two of them 20 years in prison. 10 years according to what I heard. Before I heard it is 20 years, but I now hear that there are two, that each of them is 10 years in prison. People who have unalived as many as possible they can in the Northeast. You see, it did not take this government anything to travel to Kenya and kidnap Nnamdi Kanu. But it's taking them decades to clear insecurity in Nigeria. And the persecution judge is telling us that security has been restored in Southeast, insecurity has been removed in Southeast. Who told you? Who told you, Oga? Are the Nigerian government not the ones causing insecurity in the Southeast? Imagine out of your 5 count charges, you're only using purification words, broadcasting. And when the broadcasting becomes life imprisonment, this country is indeed a joke. I don't want to dwell much on this, my lovers. I just want you guys to see what is on ground and the words of this man on this interview. Honestly, this man deserves an accolade. I give him, God bless him for saying the best in this particular, in this interview, this program with Dr. Ruben Abati. Shame on you, Ruben Abati. The man really, really finished you in this particular program. I love you guys, and what are your thoughts, your opinion regarding this? Drop it in the comment section. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do well to subscribe. You can turn on the bell button so you always get notified whenever I post our latest content. You can do well to follow us on our Facebook page at Chrissy TV. Thanks and have a nice day.